Welcome to Crafty CreeAtions. Today we'll be making a wreath on the Unique in the Creek large board. I have all my zip ties in there, all 72 zip ties. So we're doing row 2, 32 zip ties, row 3, that's 24 zip ties, and row 4, 16. So all together we'll be doing 72 zip tie petals. Okay, and here's the sign. This sign came from Timo. So it's an 8-inch aluminum sign. We have holes in there already, so I always use those holes because I don't trust the mounts to go on the mounts anymore. The mesh. So we're using the brown poly burlap. Wood burned 10 by 10. We're using, we'll need 32 pieces of the brown. We're using the natural and white, horizontal white stripe mesh. We'll need 24 pieces of that. And we're using this, what's this called? This is a brown, full heavy foiled, I guess, heavy foiled brown. Brown, did I say? Yeah, brown. So all of these I wood burned with a wood burner. Just cause I didn't know which petal I was gonna be doing, that's why I wood burned. So when I prepare my squares, sometimes I would burn them, put them aside and flatten them out just so. Put something heavy on it. That's why they're not really curled, right? Have stack stuff on top of it just so I won't have a hard time folding them. And like I said, I don't usually know which petal I'm gonna use, so. But I only knew this morning. So speaking of petals, we're using 3 different petals. So we're doing the pinwheel, we're doing the 3D daisy, and we're doing the shell petal. Pinwheel, 3D daisy, and the shell petal. Okay, so those are our petals. So first off, let me show you how I folded this pinwheel petal. You've probably seen me lots of times, but I need to do this. We'll do 2. I left out 2 each for the petals to show you. All right, so the pinwheel petal. So I did wood burn this poly burlap as I said already. So I'm gonna put it curved side up, see, and put it this way into a diamond. This way, this is, we say a diamond for this part here because it's diagonal. And then put that down there just like that, make a triangle. And I usually line this tip up and this up here, because that's where I'm gonna fold this down. So remember, I'm just trying to get that tip pointy for this pinwheel. And what I do is I'm just gonna put this under like that, rather than, there's a different way you can fold it. I'll show you with the next one. But this way, I like it this way. So I'm just gonna line this up at a line and go up 3 inches from this tip over here, 1, 2, 3, and pinch it there. Okay, and we'll grab a zip tie. Zip that up and clip off your, and there's your pinwheel. Okay, throw those to the side and we'll do another one. This time I'll show you a different way you can fold it. Okay, all right, so just gonna line that up at a line and this tip at a line, just so I'll be sort of precise. And then fold it down just like that. And I'm gonna flip it over, holding it down. Make sure this one is not moving on me though. Do the same thing. And I fold this over. So that's a different way you can fold your petal too. But I like the first one part. It's faster. I don't have to, you know, move it around. So there's the pinwheel. Alrighty, and then we'll clip off the zip tie. See, make sure that point is pointy. Some of them aren't as pointy as I'd like them to be, but that's all right. We're gonna add the pinwheel petal onto row 2. 32 pieces we'll need. So we'll excuse me, we'll just start anywhere. Okay, I'm making sure my zip tie is going inside, like always. And then when this method is called the tuck-in method. So what I'm gonna do is tuck this inside this flap here. Just like that. So this is called the tuck-in method. I like that look. So I'll let you all know why I'm using these colors. So the reason why I'm using these colors is it reminds me, these colors remind me of the feathers that are in there. This is going for the theme of the Indigenous Peoples Day theme, sort of, because in our culture, dream catchers are pretty symbolic, probably the good word. And so that's why I'm using the brown, because I'm just trying to match the sign. And there's bronze in there, and then there's white and cream. So that's why these came into be. There's that color in there. And so that's how I chose these colors. Oh, put this one in there. Whoop. So keep tucking that side in under there. And can it continue on doing the same thing all the way around on row 2. Last one. So here, I'm going to tuck this one over here. And this under here gets tucked in here. It's like that. And then we'll cut off the zip tie tails. So there's our pinwheel petal with the tuck-in method. I like it. like it, I like it. So now we'll go on to showing you how I made the next petal, which is the 3D daisy. That'll go on to row 3. So the 3D daisy, we'll grab a couple of these and make a couple. We'll need 4 zip ties for this. All right, so grab our mesh, put it curved side up. So I'm just gonna put these together like that. Push it down. Make sure these touching over here. Push it down here. And here I'm gonna fold over. Swing it around. Make sure these tips are touching over here. And go down 5.5 inches, and that's where I'll pinch. Grab a zip tie. Put it right there. Grab another zip tie and open this up and put the zip tie in through there. Zip it up a little bit. Okay, and then we walk this zip tie up here. And zip it up some more. Walk it up, zip it up. Like that. And we have a 3D daisy petal. And then what I do is I swing this knob around over here. Okay, just like that. Cut this part off. There's our 3D daisy. Let's make another one. There we go. Just make sure this one, this tip over here is just under the fold here. Fold it over, swing it around. Make sure these are lined up. 5.5 inches down is right here, and pinch together, and zip it up. Grab another zip tie and zip that up as well. I love mixing and matching my petals. It's been a while since I used just only one petal on a wreath. So do that here soon. Okay, so now we'll start adding those into the 3rd row. So these go down like that. Start in any zip tie, put that in there, zip it up. So we'll go fast because I've made up all the petals. And zip it up. Okay, and continue on doing all the zip ties on there for row 3, which is 24. Like I'm all about mixing and matching mesh, petals, and colors. When I make my wreaths. Oops. All right, so that's all the petals for row 3. And now we're gonna cut off the tails. Row 2 and 3 are done. So now let's show you how I make the cell petal. This is called the cell petal. I saw a lady do it on YouTube. Hats off to the door doctor for, you know, I got that there, the door doctor on YouTube. Okay, so the cell petal, we'll put it curved side up, turn it this way, I'm gonna grab this tip and put it down. So basically, it starts as a Star Trek petal. So I'm gonna fold it this way. Okay, I'm gonna fold this down right in the middle, just like that. So now I'm gonna line it up at the 5.5. Where did I line it up at? Yeah, 5.5 inches, and then slide these together. Okay, so that's the cell petal. So notice when I push the sides together, these are kind of folded. So I'll show you the next one, and I'll talk it through, break it down for you and show you what I did. All right, so curve side up. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna fold it down right there. So now we're gonna slide this over towards the pins. Slide over. So you notice when I slide it over, this one is bent up a little bit. So just like that, and this one on this side. So I'm just gonna put a zip tie in there, clip that off, cut that. So there's the cell petal. So we're doing 16 pieces, 16 cell petals. So now we're gonna add them on to row 4. 1 per petal. What did I just say? I meant 1 per zip tie. Last one. There we go. So we'll cut off those tails. All right, so look for the hanger. So that's how that looks. All the petals in there. Let's straighten these out. Let's take a good look at the tails. The petals when I hang it up. So I have our, oh, I like it. Let's attach our sign the other way. It's nice and cool. So another design for y'all to think about. I knew these ones here, they don't all look the same, uniform and everything, because it's poly, It's deco mesh. And if I were to use a horizontal mesh or poly burlap, these would lay nicely, look better. They all look the same size and everything. But it's okay this way too. But I like deco mesh. So you see where I attach the sign, excuse me, in the back. And what I'm gonna do back here is I'm gonna add my hanger right there. There we go. All right. Tuck these back in there. That and this one. There we go. So there's our wreath for today. Hope you all enjoyed that. That's all, friends. Thank you all for joining me.